Yo gamers, Stefan here with another update on my SRS Guardian guide that I've been playing on in a solo self-found Forbidden Sanctum League. I've been having loads of fun, and although I've not been playing a lot in between those kind of weekly updates that I've been posting, I've been getting between, real life work, spending time with my wife, doing like other stuff. I've not had that much time left for gaming, but I'm quite happy to say that I've managed to get the character to a point where I'm quite happy. It's just cruising through, tier 14, tier 15, tier 16 maps. I've not been doing any bossing so far. At the moment, I'm mainly focusing on just collecting different maps that I need to run to get the keys for the different boss fights. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just doing my Maven rotation, for which I need to be running tier 14 to 15, 16 maps. So for the Maven rotation, I'm doing 5, because it has to be 10 different maps to be able to do a 10-way boss fight. So I'll do all different tier 14s, then I'll do the all different tier 15s, and that's 10 different maps. So at the end of each of those like cycles, I'll do a Maven 10-year, 10-year, what am I talking about? 10-way fight, and through those fights, I'll be working my way through getting a Maven invitation. At the moment, I'm sitting at 6 splinters. So I'm just getting the different boss maps, running the 10-way fights to get the Maven invitation, and I've managed to also drop the hidden and the formed from the extra invitations that you need to be running to unlock all of your Atlas slots and all your, preferred map slots. I'm just in the process of still striving to accomplish that goal. I've not really done any of the bosses. I've just been sort of like mapping, getting currency, getting future items, and trying to improve my gear. In terms of gear progress since last time that we've done, I'm not going to go through each individual piece of gear, because if you want to spend time to check them yourself individually, have a look what each gear provides in terms of stats, you can do that, because I'll include the POB and it will be down below in the video description. I think that going myself just reading out stats is really boring, but what I've been trying to get across all of my pieces is just high suppression, high life when I can get it, some resists, make up for whatever stats I'm needing. In my case, mostly intelligence and also some dexterity, but suppression has been the main theme. I've been trying to get it as close to 100% as I can. I'm quite far away from that goal, even with an anoint, which gives me 10% chance to suppress spell damage. I get only 73%, but even because I'm playing in softcore, if I were in hardcore, that definitely would not be an acceptable percentage. But for me, I'm okay dying every now and then. It's not the end of the world if we die every, like 10, 15 maps or so. Obviously, once I really start pushing past level 95, 96, I want to have that to at least 90%, and then with my flask, I'll have it, conditionally capped off at 100%. But 73, 83 plus the flask, that's respectable for that level of content that I'm doing. I'm quite happy. Plus all the other layers of mitigation. I'm reasonably tanky. I'm dying really, really not frequently. And when I do die, it's just because I'm not playing proficiently. I'm sure that with those defensive layers, the character would be pretty hard to die in the hands of a more experienced player. But yeah, I definitely ticks off my personal standards for tankiness and for being able to progress towards higher level. But yeah, we got good high spell suppression. We've got a +1 on the amulet, shield, and wand slot. I did have a +1 in my helmet slot, but I traded it for spell suppression. I think that with +3 from other sources, I could trade the +1 to get a little bit higher spell suppression. Because still at this stage of gearing, I'm trying to get just as much spell suppression from any item. Hopefully later on, when I improve my gear even further, maybe hoping to be able to trade off spell suppression for a +2 amulet, for a +2 helmet, ideally with some either crafted or any tier of spell suppression that I managed to roll on it. My previous items were, so I had the +1 helmet with no suppression, then the boots, some good stats, but not as high as I wanted to. My current one had got 14% chance to spell suppress and 25% increased movement speed. That had only 24 and 9. Same with the gloves. Actually, the gloves didn't have any spell suppression. This one's had got tier 1 suppression. These boots were some previous upgrades that I had other than these ones. The same armor that I haven't changed that yet. I've got this armor that I'm trying to 6-link, and then I'm gonna attempt to surpass that with any of those. I'm just gonna be spamming essences and potentially some fossils. My previous shield didn't have a +1, it had a crafted suppression chance, and then some minion related stats, and then high life. But this one has got minion increased damage and then +1 to all minion skill gems, which is really beneficial for me. In terms of the belt, I'm just keeping this one to make up for resistances and intelligence requirements. I'm gonna swap to Darkness and Throat once I'm able to make up for these stats somewhere else on the equipment, but this would be my end game belt, so that I can make use of an extra Ghastly Eyejewel, which is really good scaler for an SRS build, and pretty much any minion skill really uses Ghastly Jewels to scale its damage and utility in beneficial ways. In terms of lucky finds, I did actually manage to drop a Prism Guardian, which in all of my years playing Path of Exile, I've never dropped before, so I'm quite happy. And I've not really decided what my reroll would be, but Prism Guardian would most probably be part of it, and I'll try to get the gear to get some sort of like aura stacking, maybe minion related build, but I've not ironed out all the details, and I'm still doing just general farming for stuff, running maps, trying to get boss invitations, getting more currency, and I'll probably be doing this for another few weeks on the character, or at least until I try to get most endgame bosses down or if I don't manage to get the Uber versions, I'll try to get at least the other, the regular Maven, the regular Ether, etc. So there's still quite a few, I think, days in this character's life, and after this I'll consider what to reroll. Other than that, I'm probably gonna be rerolling my skill tree, which at the moment is just a general skill tree which I use to mass just general currency, get expedition encounters, strong boxes, and essences each map. Once I manage to get all the invitations that I'm needing to run bosses, once I craft all my endgame gear, I'm probably gonna be respecting quite significantly out of this tree, and I'll spec into different mechanics which I have not really decided 100% on. I'll probably do a separate video once I think that when I really want to change the way that I play the character, once I transition from just general mapping to bossing, I'll probably wait until I do that, so that I've got quite a few different, like bossing invitations to run with my bossing setup. But yeah, as I said, I'll do a separate video to just, justify my reasoning behind the respec. But so far, that's pretty much it. I guess I'll show off the skill tree. I'm probably gonna be taking this character to 100, I think, because it feels really nice to play, and I've still got a lot of stuff to experience the game. So I figured I might as well experience, the end game content on this character and keep it farming, potential reroll ideas. But what I intend to do is gonna get Anointed Flesh here, and then from this master I'll get the Corrupted Blood cannot be inflicted on you, and then my next 4 points, which would be up to level 100, will be this cluster, geo cluster, and then this geo cluster. So I'll add on quite a lot of power and utility to the build. In terms of leveling, this has been super easy to level. So basically what you do is you start from this point, grab Heart and Soul, grab Enduring Bond, then grab Sacrifice, go through Spiritual Command, get Purity of Flesh, then go to Sovereignty and Redemption and Righteous Army, and then you just rush down this way through here, and you go to the Aura Effect Cluster so that you can equip all your auras, and then you're gonna get the extra life stuff, the extra resist and block stuff, the extra medium damage. You get some increased mana and reduced mana cost skills. You get some extra resistances here. In my case, I was actually quite lucky because I did get some clusters that I managed to get. Rolled with Fistic Fiends and life from that. And I also managed to get a Fortress Covenant drop. But obviously, if you don't drop the medium cluster, you just drop this part of the tree. We get Unwavering Stance for stun immunity, and yeah, that's pretty much the build. As I said, the last level should be just getting extra dual sockets. I potentially could get even a third dual sockets, but then now I need to sacrifice 2 points, which potentially could be Bloodless and a small life note, or that's a 10%. That's a 10%. Yeah, so probably, I'll probably drop these all, but it just depends whether I'll get, an extra duo that justifies that sacrifice. But obviously, it will be quite a long time until I hit 100. So that's the plan. I'll be posting updates as I'm fighting bosses once I get all the keys, and hopefully next week, once I've done the video, I'll get another you know, set of gear that I'll be able to swap into. If not, I'll be doing the boss on that gear, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's pretty much what I had for now. I'll wrap up the video here, and I'll see you next week, guys. Take care. Bye bye.